Alright, Johnny Megget here. Back after a crazy EASHL Elite title victory last night. I am back this afternoon to play our first game after a bye week. After a tough loss to Joey, who absolutely deserved to win. You're back to face the Bears. I don't do it right, but speaking of Joey, happy birthday to Joey. Alright, and here we go. This is week 8, year 5.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
Shit.
Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Toronto Mounties and the Chicago Bears.
You get a primetime game.
I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Toronto Mounties and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors from north of the border, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
I see you, Electron.
Now a play fake here on first down.
Whip that ball out there. There you go. Triangle on the tackle. And get the ball out.
And that'll bring up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A second down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On third down, it's Prescott. It's
what a great throw.
Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, I should let that go,
he'll field
but...
it in the end zone.
Oh, well.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Alright, let's see.
No, check, Patriot!
How are we gonna start this game?
Check, 53's Mike! Check.
I'm gonna try going all right this time.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And now running right through it. And he'll wind up
broke
losing
all those
yardage
tackles
back at the
and still
21-yard
ran
line.
backwards.
It's a loss of a yard there.
Still lost
now
a yard.
second down.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Let's throw out the receivers.
You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game.
Look at that receiving
so what
core.
do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be out
And
of
don't
bounds,
get
but able to
clocked.
get
There
it
we
up
go.
past the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
I love having a quarterback with 90 frickin' speed.
Here we go now.
They'll run the
Oh,
now
shit.
the pitch.
That's
The
my
ball's
fault.
loose.
I should have
And
saw
I
that.
think the Bears have recovered. They have. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for
There we go.
Get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard
First sack
line.
from being out from
Let's see
injury.
here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe
Third
that'll
and
get him
12.
going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips
don't
the
let him
other
go
way,
too far
when you're
forward.
throwing it really
Then they're gonna
well.
make the field
In this
goal,
case, now he's
which
got his
they're
first
gonna do now.
completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Unless we block it.
He'll wind up getting 4
Or it
yards
goes
there on his
wide,
own, but
but
it
he's got the
also
length for
brings
us.
up 4th down.
Okay, he's
Doing
not
those
going to
back.
get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the
We
big
missed
hit.
it.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got
A
the
little bit
ball on
surprising.
target. And knowing him,
the length
he'll be
for it, though.
disappointed with that effort.
And now back out comes the offense. And a fumble last time. Ball security.
Detroit!
Talk about it
Detroit!
all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs,
don't you hate when your
minicamps, first
good
day
players
of
get
camp
hurt?
in the regular season, ball security comes up about what,
Oh,
the second
it's going
sentence
out
that
the
the coaches
line, but-
address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And he's going to be sacked. They
Of course,
sack
you
him back
play
right
after
at
when
the
your offense line
midfield
gets
stripe.
hurt. Your center. You get sacked from up the middle.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Ugh.
From the shotgun.
Oh,
he'll look to
Julio.
throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First catch so far for Julio. He's got a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and
Yeah.
finds weak spots in order to get open.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I
Saquon
both know
involved.
that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll set up the screen to Barkley, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Who's on Julio? Probably that safety or that linebacker.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free.
Damn.
And brings up 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hitting yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
No, check.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now this time he'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down.
And he's ripping that time.
Touchdown. Julio Jones. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. The touchdown giving him the first-quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week with a good start here.
I might miss
And
this.
just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Onto the field now come the Bears. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, come get a little bit closer this time.
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Here we go. 180. 180.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. In a
Nice
heavy
play,
traffic,
Howard.
and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Oh, and now he bowls, and he'll take this into the end zone.
And a
now,
flag
hold on
at
here.
the
We
very
do
last
have a
second.
flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back.
Yeah.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as
Automatic
it moves
first
the
down.
offense backwards.
Let's see, you ruined a defensive touchdown by committing a pointless penalty because he was already in the end zone. Good job.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriots.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
All right, now we got the winner right
Seated
back.
to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased down left.
First down, that one. Don't dive,
exactly
slide,
what they
dumbass.
had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's caught. Touchdown.
That's why I didn't run it.
Devin Funchess with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That all-out blitz.
The defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here we go. 180. Take 4.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he stopped immediately there.
Stuff it.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run.
Brandon Cooks.
Robbie Coleman got burnt by Brandon Cooks.
Touchdown, Chicago. Brandon Cooks, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Tim Williams in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football.
That's
There we go,
caught
Calvin
inside the
Ridley
20.
with a get down
And he'll
field.
take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. And a huge play that time. 44 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays,
Ooh, I thought you had that.
that's often the difference in winning and
Maybe
losing.
if I slightly let him inside.
That can knock a defense off balance.
He definitely has
that'll
it. I
drive
don't
a
know.
team towards a victory. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now
I
first
think
and
there's
goal.
enough space to run
And it
this
all
play.
came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's caught. Touchdown. Devin Funchess with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
Could be
The
an
kickoff
interesting
team
pick.
on the field now as they will send this one away.
Wow, only half power on a sky
And they
kick.
will not get a
It's
chance to
into the back
return
of the end
this one
zone.
as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter
I think he
gains
hit
turn
that
into
running
bigger
back
runs
with
later.
safety.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
All right.
And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go
Say
again on
that, yeah.
offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that.
He's got a man complete.
Oh, yeah, he's having a great
The
game.
20, 10, and all the way in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, baby.
Julio Jones. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And the kickoff is up, and it's
And
good.
this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know,
I did shade the outside that time.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Prescott on 3rd and 2. He finds Humphries. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Oh, pass interference. Patrick Peterson.
Down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Oh, nice.
So they were looking to throw.
Still first down.
A big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Prescott now on 2nd down.
Nice catch, Howard.
Traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This is caught.
They just don't know how to cover that.
Julio Jones.
Other teams do. This team does not.
Game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Just a
Well, they better figure
notification
something
center.
out, and soon.
Controller battery is low.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still one attack.
We'll see how they attack them here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey.
2nd down, Prescott. That's complete, middle of the field to Humphries.
I'm not expecting a pass over the middle of the field.
Down right around the 37.
Just expecting something outside.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. 1st down, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Yeah, something like that.
Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
All right.
That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room,
sucks.
try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. So
yeah, these boys came out pissed, but losing the last game.
Kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Prescott from the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they pick up 25.
They need to get inside the 35 field goal because it's nasty. We're not that bad.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good
nasty
pass.
in their
And you
face.
know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think
he'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
We call that a sack lunch.
Throwing, Prescott, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Oh, they get to the football.
And
it's
blocked.
It's picked up a live ball here, remember.
Yeah.
So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the Giants who pick up the victory at home. Juju Smith-Schuster, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. From there, we're off to check out another game. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. Cam Newton, strong in the victory, as his guys looked better than a team that had won just 1 game coming in. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting L.A. Chargers. Kirk Cousins, a very good performance as his guys run the record now to 5-2. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right,
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Jakeem Grant now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to throw. Looking downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. They give them a gain of 37. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this offense is running away with this one.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, that's almost picked.
Almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. They worked very well there for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Hey, here we go. 180. 180.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Hey, 4 down. Here we go. 180. 180.
Now Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins.
There we go.
For a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they are going to take over right there
Three-pick
at the
game for Howard.
22-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row,
Did I get one of my
he's
guys for
throwing it to
blocking
the
back
guys
or
in wrong
something?
color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Ah.
So a decent game.
Still
all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Oh, John's gonna burn him here again.
Out of the gun, they'll look
Nope,
to throw.
Ridley.
He's going to rifle one deep left side.
Ooh.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at its second down.
I'll run that play again.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
He'll drop to throw. Now, he
Oh, jeez,
almost
they read that too?
intercepted it.
Shit.
They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first.
He got one
And
hand.
it's third down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there.
And then
knocking the ball
a
away.
rare
Offense
missed
is
throw by
possessing it,
Donald.
making plays downfield.
Donald.
And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
Oh, wow, beauty.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at that time, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned.
That's a backwards run.
Microcosm really of how he can hurt you. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that?
There you go.
Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though,
Absolutely.
who find ways to get open, whether they uncover
All right.
late in a route or they get open early, but they just
That'll work.
always find
Saquon Barkley's
a way.
rushing
And he's
yards
having
up
that type
there.
of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because it gives them an identity and sets a tone.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
I'm guessing touchdown
They'll
here.
set up a throw. Looking deep for Julio. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Julio Jones. 44 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
For the fourth quarter, will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled.
Those draw
at
plays
about
aren't
the
going to work.
35.
They're not going to win you the game.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with
They'll
third
help you
down
plus
coming
minus.
up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way
point
to create
differential.
that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
44's Mike. Check.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4 receiving touchdowns means he's been a variety of coverages throughout this game because they're not just letting him run scot-free. They're trying their best to shut him down, and he's shredding them.
I got to be honest, I want to see 5. You want to see 5? I mean, we're not supposed to be biased, but
we're not rooting. Just in the interest of the game, let's go ahead and see 5.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
No, they're going to need to hold me like 15.
That time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game.
And this is
nice catch.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there. 41 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the
That was
truth.
a hell of a catch.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice. And it's caught. Touchdown. Devin Funchess there to make the grab. And this offense is running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's keep this beating going.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Dak Prescott of the
Nice
offense
return
heading
by
back
Zohan,
onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's got his man.
All right, he ran backwards.
So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down.
He had the first down and
Now
he
we're
spun
gonna get a
back.
stoppage.
Unfortunately
Appears
for
to
him,
be an
he got
injured
hurt.
bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Well, that and they lost the first down, but
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Glancing down at the stat sheet, and we've been tracking it, but you get a 100-yard game, you're really happy. You're over 200 like he is. You probably want that ball after this game, don't you?
You want that one. You want to continue to call the same plays in any other game you play. You're having one of those...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
oh, there we go.
Julio Jones all alone. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Julio Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And this offense continues to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage
Keep
of the game,
the
partner,
beat down
where one
going.
of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
But
one of our guys.
she's singing too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on like the 5th tune at
Yeah,
this point.
she left Scales way behind. But he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring the jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
I want more scores. Let's go.
Work he's getting. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage. When you see a play like that, where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot,
no, they're not.
That's
They're
a
not going
big-time
inside.
play by the defense.
Looking to throw.
Oh, I was right the first time.
And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh,
He's got a man wide open, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Hit him
Offense for
hard.
them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week,
Yeah,
trying
real
to get some
hard.
momentum going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first and 10, Prescott toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. That'll bring up second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color
Doesn't get
jersey.
the first down.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 6 there, but now it's third.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott.
Not expecting
Right
it.
side to Cooks. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Prescott down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
First and
It's a
goal.
10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and
That
taken
wasn't a very
down.
productive play for
No
them.
gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and
There
it's
you go.
picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he will find Ridley on the left
All
side.
right.
And they are going to
Didn't get a drive goal done,
again.
but
Yet
they scored
another
again.
touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Don't mess with the Zohan as the return man.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
Get up there.
And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the
Almost
message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Hey, here we go. 180. 180.
Play action now, Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught at the 10.
Holy shit.
And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, first and goal.
180.
One last shot now for Prescott, and this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there.
Oh, yeah.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
All right.
So for our visitors, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they dipped to 2.
All right, we win by 63 points. Good game, guys. Good game. All right, YouTube, we'll talk to you later. I believe the sim will be likely tonight. This is a chance we play again tonight. Who knows? If not, tomorrow. Depends on if Phil's able to play his game because he is the last one remaining. What else? Most of the league has concluded that this will be the last season played in Madden 19. And yeah, I have another day off tomorrow. So that's nice. Let's check out the injury real quick. How many weeks is he out? 6? Ouch. Yeah, no fun. Anyways, we have depth at defensive line within the power rushers. And yeah. Alright, YouTube, we'll talk to you later. Peace.